Wednesday.
Hey, it's hump day. Oh my gosh. We should
Oh yeah.
call the bartender. We should get the drinks out. Come on. It's almost
late.
happy hour.
It's late. We started late today.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Oh man, I would have totally. I was just about to hop on our 12 o'clock verse time slot, and then JP reminded me that I had to speak on stage at a conference. I would totally miss it if JP didn't remind me. So if you guys didn't know, Agency Fast Track is going on right now. I just finished my talk, and JP was the last one today, so we just hopped on to start our show here, and so let's get things going. All right.
Ayy, GBP roast, GBP roast. Sorry, you in danger. Right now, I gotta flame you. This is GBP roast, GBP roast. On your Google business profile, it's about to go down. We roasting and reacting. We ain't come to play. 20 years in SEO. JP, Lambo, and Dre, bringing facts and guests. Oh yeah, we bring the dopeness. Welcome to the show. Hope your profile don't get roasted.
Oh yeah. Any wins this past week, guys? Any big wins?
I've been sleeping in and working part-time. I've been still recovering from influenza. I got something wrong with me. I got COVID-21, I think.
Oh man, yeah, it's been a while. It's been what, almost is it almost a month now?
Yeah, kind of had like a little cough through Christmas, but then after I came back from vacation, it got worse. Got clogged, got bacteria, and then the doctor says, "Oh, I think maybe now you have a virus." So I got like the 1-2 punch.
Oh man, hopefully this is the last week. All right, JP, any wins?
Not like big wins, just really productive week. I mean, we had this event that we're doing, and just been kind of staying focused, getting ready for the new year. Keith and I have some pretty exciting stuff that we're building, and you and I have some great stuff that we're doing. And we had a great turnout on Friday. If you guys are in the Bay Area, so definitely, you guys want to show up for that.
Yeah, check it out. Go to meetup.com/local marketing, meetup.com/local marketing. And we actually have the video up. You can check out JP's full presentation. Go to the SEO video show under events, go to SEO video show at the events section, and you'll be able to see his full presentation at the meetup. I also want to let you guys know that if you guys want a free copy of the SEO in 2025 book by Majestic, I have a few copies out here. So if you guys want to shoot an email, if you're in the United States, shoot an email to gbproast@gmail.com, gbproast@gmail.com with your name and an address, and I will send this out to you. So first 2 people that can send me your name and address, I will send you a copy of this brand new SEO in 2025 book by Majestic. I do have a feature in here, so I have a few copies to give away. All right, let's get right into our roasting. Or actually, not roasting table. Actually, you know what? There's something that came up at our meetup, JP. There's a question. Like one thing that came up was, what do you do when people move businesses? Like we noticed that sometimes when you move a business, it may not register right away. Like, what can people do to make sure that it's transferred over to the new address, and how long does it usually take?
Yeah, I mean that's one thing that you definitely want to first of all make sure that your branding, your website really matches with what you're doing. And Google does just check that. Sometimes they'll even go as deep as making sure you have your utilities, transferred over. Your business license and things like that. It's really a good idea too to keep track. I think one of the episodes we went over making sure you keep track of your customer ID number directly in your profile. Sometimes when you're moving stuff, you may lose some downtime. You may get suspended. Unfortunately, Google's not perfect, and sometimes you have to get those appealed. But it's best to get everything kind of set up first as you're making that transition. One of the biggest things too is making sure everything has been updated. Was Apple Maps is a big contributor for traffic. I know we talk about GMB on this show, but one of the problems that people had was they were using Siri or something like that, which talks directly into Apple Maps. So they were actually going to the old location, which a lot of times Yelp will actually power Apple Maps as well. So, like, getting your Yelp address updated just to make sure you're not having those types of issues. But yeah, you definitely, there's some legwork that you want to plan ahead. It takes a while for you to actually move. So you should do all this stuff beforehand before you actually move into your new office.
Yeah. Keith, have you ever had a plan for some customers that had to have this done?
Typically, if you want to just search your name with quotes straight on Google, and just see what are some of the more popular places that you're found, and then correct those, right?
Oh,
So they're
okay.
typically like Jordan mentioned, Apple, Yelp, possibly your chamber, more popular places that definitely can coincide with your citation, right? A trusted citation.
Got it. Love it. Love it. We have Brian. Brian's in the live chat here. I heard him speak as well at the agency Fast Track. Welcome here, Brian. All right, let's go into our very first reaction video, guys. That was all the questions that we had submitted and actually from the meetup. So let's go ahead and check out our very first reaction.
Yes. Give it to me. Come on, baby.
It's coming.
Come on, turn it up.
Insanely long title tags, like I'm talking over 200 characters. Sounds like a disaster, right? Wrong. Not only do long title tags work, they could be your secret to insane rankings. This would cause most tools to completely freak out. You're gonna get big warnings. Most tools will actually give you a warning when you hit about 60 characters, which is typically the recommended character limits. What are your thoughts, Joy?
Yeah, so it's not just tools that freak out. It's like other SEOs. I actually had a client that was approached by another SEO company that was trying to, sell him,
SEOs who don't
convince
know
him to leave
how it
us,
works.
and he was like, "Oh my goodness, your title tag is so long. We need to change that first thing." And I'm like, all you're going to accomplish when you change that is you're going to experience a ranking drop for a bunch of things.
What are your thoughts on
No, you definitely, it should be as long as possible, right?
Oh.
How long is a piece of string, right? Is it this long? Is it that long? How long? It's the same question when it comes up. How long should your content be? It should be as long as needed. Yes, we know Google's only going to show so many characters, right? And there's debate of like, well, after like the 8th or 10th word, can I start to keyword stuff? Yes, wink, wink, you can. But one thing you really want to keep in mind is that title, right? That's the highlighted blue that you see on the SERP. It really is going to help you tie in with your description. So if you really think more like CTR, such as free estimate, like entice them with something to click, and if it can also be tied in with your description or how people think, right? How they search for like local plumber. You may want to make sure you use the word local plumber and then it appears, and then surround that word with any enticement to really get the click.
Got it. JP, do you play around with title tags? Do you like?
No, I don't do it that long. I think I'm a little bit more direct in what we do, but it's definitely something that you can do depending on the type of site that you have. If you're not building these huge, giant, interlink pages and things like that, having individual service plus city pages, it's definitely a great opportunity. If you're like in roofing, you can put in roofing there, roof repair, roof replacement, things like that. All the services that you kind of do in that sub niche, that's a great opportunity to put that directly in that title. If you'll notice from the SERPs too, it'll say ... It'll cut off anyway. So at the end of the day, Google's reading your source code. They're not reading, the body text. So if you can fit in as much as you can in there, we cover things like near me. You can put the near me in the title if that's something that you really wanted to do. Title is a great opportunity for you not only to get the click, but to put in the types of services that you do within your niche.
Love it, love it. I mean, I've played with title tags. I mean, I don't really try to keep it under, but I do kind of like have a message and make use of the ... So I play with that, with like making them curious on what's after. So like, I'll try to make sure like I have what I want to say, and then play with the curiosity of that ...
Do something like get a free, and then they're like, oh, what do I get? Right? And that's how you do it. That's how you get the click.
There you go. Love it.
Don't worry about if it's a red X that comes up on your tool, or if it's in red or it says danger. They don't know. All they know is, well, it should be 70 characters long. Guess what?
According to who, though? According
Yeah,
to who?
exactly. You put what you need to put in there. What did Cato write in the comments? I love it.
It's he put right here. This is the best title tag ever.
Ever. Unstoppable ranking. Straight to the exactly. That's exactly what you do.
Near me. Woo-hoo, near me.
Which is going to be exciting too, because I'm going to be talking about some of those emotional triggers when it comes to CRO, which is exactly what Brian typed in, that enticement, right? Like, oh, that's what I want. I'm anticipating a ranking boost, and I want to click. I want to learn.
Love it. Love it. Okay, here's video number 2.
How do we take the old school idea of link building and turn it into something functional for local? And that's signals, right? So user signals are much stronger than link building. And so how we're going to do that is by using things like the knowledge graph links and URLs. There's a CID link. So every Google Business Profile listing has a unique CID link, which if you Google it, you can find out how to grab that. And you can build backlinks to the individual GBP listings. And we've tested this in depth and see a lot of results from just linking to the GBP directly as opposed to the website. You can link to both, but making sure you test that. But user metrics are important. Somebody who's got a verified and aged Google account and they go leave a review will do more for rankings than doing 10 links.
This is exactly what we do in the Trident teaching for our students, except we do it better, because Jordan and I both know you don't link over the CID. It doesn't really empower it up like it used to.
Yeah, so we actually tested this back around 2014, 15, me and a guy named Mike Pierce. What was interesting is back then it was actual CID decimal format. Now it goes to a hexadecimal. If you actually look in the URL, you'll probably see something that says 0x something 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 in the actual URL. That's actually the hexadecimal version of your CID. Now if you send links to the CID, it sends it as a 302 redirect actually to the actual hexadecimal, so you don't even need to even send it to the CID anymore. You can even send it directly to the full URL. One thing that's important too is that linking is really a temporary signal for that. It's technically going to give you temporary traffic signal. So the best advantageous way to do that is to send a link, maybe try to find a way to get some referral traffic through that link, and it just kind of helps validate the strength of that linking. It's hard to do that with some tools, but there are ways to go about it. That way you're making that link even stronger. But again, you don't have to use this CID. You can actually use the full length. Be careful using the shortener, because sometimes those bug out, and those chains, those are dynamic, so sometimes they will change in and out. So you may have a share link one time at one website. It may change another time when you're using it on a different website. So
Interesting. What are your thoughts on the reviews from aged Gmail accounts or aged accounts, or maybe like I would say even a local. What's that? A local expert? They have
local guide.
The guide,
So
local
Google,
guide.
you don't even actually have to be a registered local guide for Google to track it. Google actually tracks the local guide experience, even though you're not registered in the program. So definitely, if you notice that reviewers, one thing to look at is if you see that reviews are dropping off, keep track of some of that review history. If you notice that someone's been leaving reviews for a really long time, at their local taco shops, tire shops, whatever, and then all of a sudden they stop for like 3 years, it's not going to have as much consistently strength as a reviewer who's maybe brand new. So there's a lot of things like reviewer history that goes into account that kind of helps the likelihood of some of those reviews dropping off. And that's actually an algorithm that they got from Yelp. Yelp actually does that. If you all of a sudden a reviewer is going out and leaving 50 reviews, they're probably not going to show.
Yeah, it's so you could maybe just do nothing but leave reviews, or maybe you could be someone who just updates photos, or you could even report, businesses that are not active anymore. They totally will trust that. One of the most, I got so damn lucky for this. When I was visiting an office building in downtown Nampa, Idaho, there was a coffee shop, and I look them up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they don't have a Google business profile. I couldn't believe it. I says, hey, I'm going to set this up for you. No problem. And I just created, I didn't like claim a business. I just created, hey, this is an existing business. And I love it because like every year I'll get something from Google that will say, it had 10,000 views. Your photo had 100,000 views. Thank you for contributing. So it's the crowd that they're trusting. And yes, it can be manipulated, but it's not always about very specific signals.
So wait a minute. You said you didn't claim it, but you're able to still set it up?
Yeah. If you could go, if a business exists, you can just go right to Google Maps and say, hey, I found a business. Here's pictures, here's information. And I just updated it all. And they totally yep, it's live and active.
Oh, and then I would assume that the do you own this business link will show up, and then it's up for them to grab it.
And then if a business owner is actually there, they can go through the process of claiming it and all that.
Man.
So if you want to get a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge, extra love from Google, go around to places, especially new buildings. And if you can get a business card, take a picture of the door, the office, the location, and just say, hey, I'm going to set this up for you for free. It's also a great way to get in with the owner because they're like, oh, they have 500 other things to do, right? Like pay the electric bill or get the internet set up, right? Get the employees trained. And you walk in and say, hey, I'm a Google Business Pro. Let me set this up for you for free.
Oh man, that's fire. That's fire. Love that. Love that. Okay. So let's go into, that's enough. That's it for our reaction videos. We're gonna go straight into
Yeah, we're going to play some GMBs right now.
Oh.
How we doing?
That's drive-by. That's drive-by setups right there.
drive by GBP.
I love it.
So this is something that I wanted to cover. This question gets asked a lot in different groups, and that is category selection and making sure that your categories are really on point. The point of category, it really gives you kind of an overview, topical bucket that I like to call it, that really has, Google knows if you're, in this case, an auto repair shop, what types of services an auto repair shop would do. So even just having auto repair, if you do offer specific types of services, if there's a category for it, you definitely want to choose it because the more likelihood of you actually being visible within that category and that type of service or search query that a user is typing in, the better off you're going to be. This doesn't mean that if you're in handyman that you put in, I'm a contractor, I'm a plumber, I'm an electrician, they have a separate category for a handyman. So if you do certain things, Google's going to know that, hey, you're a handyman, you do these types of services. I wanted to use this example because over the weekend, unfortunately, I got a nail in my tire. I was looking for a tire shop that did it for my particular type of car. I happened to take it to Big O. They're a pretty solid company. I don't know if a lot of people know, but if you think of Big O tires, what's the first thing that you think of about this company? What type of service do they offer?
Tire repair, flat tires, or selling tires.
Yeah, so it's tire. They're a tire shop, so they're selling you tires, repairing tires, things like that. Well, a lot of times, like even at this place, I was like, hey, while I'm here, can you guys just check the fluids? And they were able to top off like my windshield wiper fluid. A lot of times these types of places will actually offer like an oil change, wheel alignment. They could even do even more stuff within the auto repair section. They even, obviously they do tires, but they do like brakes as well. So if you offer additional services, this is a great opportunity for you to really showcase everything that you offer, because by you adding those categories like oil change service, you're going to show up in maps. And if your content within your Google Business Profile reflects that, and also on your website, guess what? You're going to get more visibility. But really it comes down to category selection. A lot of the times, like I was looking for this particular query is Honda Prologue tire repair. This is the type of car that I have. A lot of the first results that I was getting was actually like a Honda service center. This one actually does kind of the same thing. They have some of the same categories. You can notice with that Big O tire shop, they have pretty much the same categories. If you're only a tire shop and you're not actually offering, and you do offer brake services, like if I looked at this site, if I see that they're offering brake, this would be advantageous for you to, add this additional category within your Google business, making sure your website reflects that, and everything within your services and products. So again, just, category selection is definitely, is probably one of the most important things that you can do. Thoughts?
Nice.
Any thoughts, Keith?
No, I mean, I think a lot of small businesses will say, well, I just have a service page, right? And it's like, okay, that's fine. Maybe you could have a bullet that says oil changes, right? Maybe you could list some of your brands that you work on. It can be harder for some of them to have multi-pages of all specific services, but sometimes it's just that headline, right? And then a little bit, just a quick paragraph, right? 2 or 3 sentences of, hey, this is a paragraph about brakes and struts.
Yeah.
I'm curious, for a company like Big O Tires, they're definitely like a local business. Oh, well, but they're a chain. Like, so but they're all, I'm pretty sure it's a franchise. Like, have you ever gotten like just like the owner of that place, or like something like that, trying to get you, like, have you like work with a certain chain where you can actually expand to like do other ones, or like?
Yeah, Midas was actually a really good example. Midas is another big chain. They mainly focus on oil changes, and most of the Midases are actually an actual franchise owner. I think Big O is actually like a corporate.
Oh, okay. So
I think it's an actual corporate location. Midas is more like a franchise. So you do have a little bit more flexibility with what you can actually offer. I mean, you may still have to get some type of approval, but for the most part, they are independent companies as a franchise owner, as opposed to the Big O discount tires that are more like the corporate level. There's even some Midases that have been to that, don't offer a certain type of service. And, I've been to others that's literally all they do is oil changes. That's all that they want to do. So it's definitely, if you look for opportunities that you can get some additional visibility, because it's definitely going to help your bottom line.
Usually one of the biggest issues I ever run into with any corporate guys, some of their photos are messed up. And typically what can happen is someone will take a photo and it might be tied in with a review, and that review got a lot of views and a lot of thumbs up, and suddenly that photo, which shows maybe a dilapidated car and a tires all burnt up, that's the primary photo that you see for the GMB. When you set up your Google business profile, I can't stress enough, you have to make sure you've got some great photos. If you don't load some of the best photos in the beginning, you're at the mercy of consumers and then the crowd, which is exactly what we talked about earlier.
So this is so I'm glad that you brought that up. This is actually a really cool little feature. Not a lot of people know about this. When you actually leave a review, you can post a photo. This mainly works from your mobile phone. But if you post a photo with a review, you can actually write like a little blurb about like what happens. So you see like tire hole repair. So if you get customers that are like, hey, I'm going to leave, ask them to leave a review. If they pay attention on their mobile phone, they'll see a little section that, they can actually add. So a Google business owner can actually add their own updates with posts.
Who the hell is that guy?
A
Local
customer
guide.
Whatever. A customer can actually add it directly in the photo. They can actually, a user can actually do their own updates with that business. So
could you please add some more keywords there, sir?
Yeah, no, this is supposed to say some, tire repair stuff, but you guys get the idea.
Yeah. I mean, are they're not a client of yours, right? You just did that. Just
No, that's just where
just being nice.
My tire repair.
There you go. All right, paying it forward. Let's get to our next segment here.
La 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 Lambo's World. La 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 Lambo's World. Lambo likes conversions and SEO too. That's Lambo's World.
I'm pressing the screen button.
I love
I'm
you,
pressing
Michelle.
the screen button. Okay, here we go. There we go. Sorry. Okay, let's press the right button. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-boom. Boom. All right, kids. Oh, shoot, that is the wrong one. Damn it. Son of a bitch.
Lambo.
Beep.
Oh, sorry. Bleep, 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 bleep. All right, let's try this one. Nope, that's not it. La 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 la. Lambo screws up again. Today, more fun and excitement about emotion. That's what we're going to go over. I actually have a couple examples for you, a before and an after. And people like myself in the CRO world in conversions, we're always talking about emotion, right? How do you really connect with a human? So let's dive into this a little bit about triggering some of these emotional reactions. When you really want to try to connect with that user in that audience, right? That person that's in market, try to really focus on any empathy, sharing stories, and that experience that really resonates with that common human emotion, okay? So, why is this not doing what I want it to do? Hold on. Oh, there we go. Whether it's joy, curiosity, sadness, fear, any kind of excitement, when you can really show that you understand that human, right? And understand their challenges, that's really going to help you relate to their experience. And then you're going to really build that sense of trust. And of course, have a much stronger bond with them. Because again, it's about a story, right? I'm sure at your recent presentations, guys who started with stories can just better connect with their audience. I want to go over and show you before and after. You see my screen on this is called the early weeks.
Yep.
So what this company does is there's something known as sleep learning, sleep training, right? Your child just won't get to sleep, and there really is some science and psychology behind teaching that child, right? And moms and dads are just frustrated. So if you really kind of just go through this is the infant sleep training page, the before. You're like, okay, like, oh, info, more info. Okay, we got, you believe no spoiling babies. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to go into sleep training. Like, oh, giant list of bullets. It is just piece of information after information after information. Okay, that's nice. You see how the flow is much better. We got the little Z here with an icon. It's much shorter. We all know the importance of sleep. Oh my gosh, a giant list of bullets, right? No, stop doing this. This is not what you want to do. This is the after on the early weeks. Are you frustrated with bedtime battles? Remember, humans are going to read the main headline first. And then we use a little bit of certainly emotion and a little comedy here, right? That you really need to focus on a fast solution and to kind of calm their fears. It's probably 3 a.m. and your child is not sleeping, right? Just notice how the correct words, not diarrhea of information, and focusing on the important items, right? What do you want this baby to do? I want them to fall asleep on their own. I want them to take consistent naps. I want them to sleep longer at night. Then you even break their conventional wisdom. It's not another cry out method, right? In the original, that was hidden buried in a sentence. So this is a great way to emotionally connect. And, oh wait, it's not just for babies, right? We're breaking grammatical rules that you can start with a conjunction. Now we talk into the older child, and there's a photo matching the headline. This is how you totally can transform from the bad page, right, where it's just, oh my gosh, right, to the, oh, yeah, this totally works and speaks volumes to get that frustrated parent to take action. That's pretty much it, kids, today on Lambo's World. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da.
Lambo's World. Hey.
Lambo's World.
All right. So we do have one roast that we want to do here. Let's see. Does someone want to bring it up?
I can. This was actually this was a really interesting natural medicine shop in the Boise market. This customer actually reached out to me a couple months ago. They're not just, it was a prospect as such. I didn't work with them, and really dove in deeper here to figure out, like, well, man, what's going on? Because they've got 49 reviews. They have a 4.9 rating. One thing we can do too, I think is important, is let's go search like holistic medicine or natural medicine.
Are you sharing your screen?
Do you have maps up on?
No, we don't see your screen.
Oh no, what?
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. How does everyone know that it's doing well?
Lambo doesn't know what to do. He can't even sing. Do. There we go.
All right. So we have Red Mountain.
Dre, you just need to like say, hey, idiot, stop talking. Pay attention to the buttons, okay? I'll just go off. Okay?
You're
it's almost happy hour. Come on.
I was imagining it. I was imagining it until you said certain things. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, now I'm lost. I need to see a picture. So you did a good job painting the picture. But then
one thing I wanted to do is just go search natural medicine, maybe natural medicine doctor.
I don't know if holistic is like a thing that they.
Natural medicine doctor, and I'm actually going to go directly to maps, and I'm gonna go in the location. The other thing that's kind of stinky too is it's almost 5 o'clock here, Mountain Standard Time, and so sometimes that can kind of throw off our data a little bit. When I demoed this earlier, one thing I noticed was there was actually an advertiser right here and an advertiser right here. That was a good tip-off to immediately tell me, oh, yes, I hit the magic button.
What did you hit?
Refresh.
All right.
So right there, that tells Jordan and I, oh, this is competitive, right? So not only do we have this natural path, but then we see that that person is also ranking. I mean, we expect that because of that type of a search. But you're like, okay, this is a competitive market, and there's a variety of choices. When you examine the site, and FYI, the site was down earlier. I don't know. Has it come back to life yet?
Now.
Oh, is it live now?
There you go.
Yeah.
You hit refresh.
Okay. Woo! Yes.
Refresh.
We are ready to go here with the web archive. So when I examine this from Lambo's point of view, they're doing, I think, a lot of things right. I don't really see a lot of dramatic SEO that would really have to be done. But yet the client is like, we're not ranking in maps. And we all know that's where the money's at. So these guys have a YouTube page. They actually have a pretty good blog section. I could not really find some major holes as to what was happening, other than when you go out and you look and you think, wait a minute, you guys are closed on Fridays? You're not open Saturday? And the competition is open. Not only is the competition open early and they're open late, how is Google going to reward businesses? Remember, they're nothing more than a tool of giving you easy choices. So if someone's open, they're going to show that business, right? And if someone's being more satisfied, they're going to show those choices. So yes, you can have a great amount of reviews and you can be doing a lot of things right, but you got to have, if you're not on the same customer service wavelength, right, as your competition, you're missing out on brand awareness. Maybe they have to have ads. Maybe they got to be on Meta or Instagram. They probably definitely have to increase the reviews. This is what was crazy, that what this clinic said. She's like, well, most people will wait about 2 to 3 weeks to get into the office. And I'm like, holy crap, really? I called just the 3 of the larger places. They could see me in 7 to 10 days. It's about customer service. Now, that was a much deeper dive. It took me an hour, right? And some extra research and phone calls. But I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, what? You know, obviously they could have, you know, more service categories and do other things right. But at the end of the day, guys, it's about customer service many times in the maps. What do you think, Jordo?
I think the biggest thing for me is that it sounds like, I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily a bad problem to have, or if it is a problem that they're just that busy. But there's lots of resources that you can have that just even answer your phones, you know, to expand your hours. Be open on Friday. You know, have someone that's available that can at least schedule some appointments. I would rather try to schedule an appointment that's even 3 weeks out, at least trying to get that conversion. Having someone available to answer the phone, or even have some type of, I don't know if they even looked at their site, if they have any like way to book online or anything like that. I think they had a patient portal where someone can sign up and like new registration. But I mean, there's no excuse for turning away business just because you're closed. There's always an opportunity for you to, and they're doing everything correct. I mean, I even looked at their branding real quick. They're doing a really good job. You know, the reviews are pretty decent.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, wow, this is really unique, right? And we had to think a little bit outside the box, and we're like, oh, there's advertisers. Oh, there's more choices, right? Remember, it's my experience. It's the consumer's experience of how they're thinking and looking and interacting. If they're getting a better user experience with your competitors, you're losing. You're not always going to be in the maps. It doesn't matter how great you are.
Got it. Yeah.
I mean, they focus too on kinesiologists, and that's a category in itself. And they mentioned that, like, if you guys, like, I just talked about this during tech time. If you provide this service and there's a category for it, add it. I guarantee this is going to increase some conversions, some more leads. They even mentioned chiropractor. If you're an actual chiropractor, you provide those services, add it in there. Chiropractic is a category. So I mean, I think they're missing on a lot of opportunity for getting additional business. Just again, that's just a simple thing. Like perfect example why you should add categories, if it is something that you do provide. You know, their reviews are pretty good. You know, I read a couple of the reviews. Definitely could do a little bit of some work on some of the pages, just to kind of make them a little bit more intent-based relevant. You know. But I mean, overall, I think they definitely have a lot of potential to really expand this.
Yeah.
They're just missing a couple small things.
There was a customer service recommendation in live chat call. Robbie mentioned I use Good Call for my restaurant. It's amazing. I'm assuming it's like a appointment scheduler. So I guess someone calls.
Yeah,
and
just
someone,
an answering service. I mean,
it's an answering
technically,
service.
you know, Google doesn't want you to do it, but like if you can say we're open during these hours and there's someone, hey, thank you for calling, you know, Red Mountain Natural Medicine, you know, at least, you know, if I know that I'm gonna miss some opportunities for some possible appointments, like you might as well not even be in business.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you brought up a great point, Keith, on or like a great thing where it's like you actually did some research. You actually called other companies for when you're doing competitive research. You called.
You're sitting there and I'm like, they have a 4.9 star rating. Like that's above average, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they have a super powerful YouTube. Their blogs are really well done. and of course the client's like, hey, could you send me a proposal? And you know what I said? I said, you don't necessarily need traditional SEO. What you need is more brand awareness. They really need to run some ads and some marketing, and they need to seriously consider expanding their hours. So one of the primary points of this, SEO is not always the answer, right? It's always marketing first and really thinking, well, maybe my competitors are just doing a better job. And in this case, the evidence leans that way.
Yeah, they have a lot of videos even in Index too. Just doing a quick scan. A lot of the YouTube videos, they have some shorts. They have some stuff from Facebook, Instagram. I would consider this a pretty decent, high authority type of brand that definitely is just missing a couple of small things. They're on the Better Business Bureau. They have good ratings. Again, they're just missing a couple of small things. So.
I'm curious. Can we use it for a test? I mean, we're gonna do good things for it, right? Let's see if is there something we can do here and like, kind of document it and just like,
I mean, we can do a live
I
test.
know.
Everyone that's watching, go and search for, the main keyword, and maybe we'll see some things happen over the next few weeks.
Oh, yeah.
I know what Jordan and I would do, and it's what we would teach our students. It's a form of CTR, but it's better, right? Because what you need is an in-market person, right? So someone searching for what they offer, and then try to get them to their brand.
Got it.
That's all I'll say.
I would add categories for sure too. I mean, they provide 2 additional services that says directly on their site. Just add those categories.
What was the search that you did? It was natural doctor.
Natural medicine doctor was one. Their alternative medicine, and what's happening too is these companies are getting smarter, knowing that if I use the word natural medicine in my business name, then I'm going to get those clicks, and it's totally true, right? There was one, natural health clinic is a lot of times. Integrative medicine is another variation. So instead of putting near me in your fucking business name, why don't you just use the primary category of what you are, right? Then that might help you.
That's a great tip right there. Take a look at the registered categories within Google and possibly add that into your registered name. Love it.
Yep. And like Jordan said, make sure you have those pages for those specific services. That definitely helps.
All right, guys. Love it. Love it. Great stuff here today. So the search term, was it in Boise, Idaho? Natural medicine doctor, Boise,
Yeah.
Idaho?
Yeah.
All right.
Or just Boise or I
Boise.
even did like some near me combos, or I would use the Chrome extension to, move my location right in that area.
Cool. I mean, guys, if anyone watching, we can check back next week and see how it looks. Just go ahead and search natural medicine doctor, Boise, Idaho. Let's see if this, again, it's really just, it's going to be kind of random, right? It's not really in market, but let's test it out. If you guys are listening, watching, we'll revisit this GBP next week. Just search natural medicine doctor, Boise, Idaho, whatever. But the actual name of the company is Red Mountain Clinic. So look for natural medicine doctor, Boise, Idaho, Red Mountain Clinic. And I wouldn't be surprised if this video starts ranking for it, because we're talking about it and it's coming up in the script here. So
Put it in the title.
Oh yeah. Well, let's see how good this video ranks for that as well. It's so local. Let's see what happens. All right, guys. That concludes this week's episode. We'll see you guys next week at a regular time. Right. See ya.
Hey, GBP roast, GBP roast. Sorry, you in danger. Right now, I gotta flame you. This is GBP roast, GBP roast. On your Google business profile, it's about to go down. We roasting and reacting. We ain't come to play. 20 years in SEO. JP, Lambo, and Dre, bringing facts and guests. Oh yeah, we bring the dopeness. Welcome to the show. Hope your profile don't get roasted.
All right. There we go. All right. Cool.